Siyabonga bandla singahlala phansi. Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, Acting Premier Baba Sihle Zikalala, Ministers, Deputy Ministers and the MECs who are present here, amalungu eParlamente kuzwelonke namalungu eParlamente kusifundazwe Kwazulu-Natal, executive mayors kanye namakhansela, Inkosi Mabundu Tembe, Dabezitha, kanye na wonke amakhosi akhona kanye nathi lapha namhlanje. Amalungu endlu yamakhosi kwisifundazwe saKwaZulu-Natal kanye nosihlalo walendlu ubaba uChiliza, umphakathi wonke wasemkhanyakude kanye namaphethelo, nonke bakwethu enikhona lapha namhlanje, bantu base South Africa yonke. Ngicela ngakaqali ukuphawula nje kancane nje ngemva kokuba ngethule uGeneral ophethe amabutho avikela iSouth Africa kanye nahamba nababaholi bempi abenza lolu suku lube nesithunzi nesizotha olusifanele. Nime njalo nina benkosi. Njengoba silapha nje bakwethu sigubha lolu suku lwenkululeko, luyagujwa nakwezinye indawo nabanye baligubha ngendlela ezahlukahlukene, kodwa lapha esikhona yona nkundla le esikuyo egameni lesizwe sonke. Kwezinye indawo bayagubha nabo kodwa bayigubhela nje zabo. Khona basePitori okuthiwa bayagubha nabo bagubha nje ePitori. Nakwezinye indawo futhi bayagubha, kodwa lapho esithi khona abafundile i-national event kusho ukuthi yona mgubho kazwelonke lo kulala phezu khona. Yingakho nje umkhuzi wamabutho kanye namasekela akhe bela lokho kuwuphawu lokubonisa ukuthi sigubha okazwelonke la. Lokho ke bakwethu kusho ukuthi lo osabekiwe ukuthi ahole izwe uma ekhuluma la namhlanje akakhulumi nje lapha emkhanya kude kuphela, kodwa ukhulumela ukuthi ilizwe lonke izwe. Ngaleso sizathu ke akazi ukukhuluma isiZulu nje kuphela, ngoba kusho ukuthi uma ekhuluma isiZulu kuphela ungafana nokuthi umgubho nje wabantu bala emkhanya kude kuphela. okhuluma isiSuthu noma isiVenda noma luphulimi okhuluma isingisi ngeke ezwe ukuthi lo phathiswe izwe ubethini. Kusho ukuthi kuyaphoqeleka ukuthi akwitize namhlanje noma ela kaMhlaba uyalingana. Nani basemhlaba uyalingana nisho nithi abancinane bancinane bazokwitiza la namhlanje. Ngaleso sizathu ke ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi bakhona abanye abahontanga yethu lezi zinto masibhaliwe lento ekwitizayo ibuyisha amagama amakhulu abangazukuzwa kahle hle kodwa ngeke basukume bathi asizwa mongameli sebeyofela ngaphakathi nje njengebutho lakaZulu. Sivumelene nabaphathi bohlelo ukuthi okancamalala uzokwitiza nje azaqede. Mabethanda bazohumusha. Uma bethanda bazoyigoqa inkulumo ekugcineni banikeze inkulumo esigoqiwe kodwa kusho konke. Ngifuna ukuthi ningamangali ukuthi hawu uZuma usehambe kakhulu noma sekuthini usekhuluma isingisi nje akasasiboni. Hayi. Ngiphoqwa isimo bakwethu. Bazoyigoqa ke ekugcineni bayakwazi ifundiswa lezi noma mhlambe bakhethe esinye seyifundiswa ziningi la. Ngiyazibona nje ukuthi mawungasuyithinte zingaqhitiza kuze kusi. Sengizoqhitiza ningixolele bokwethu. Ugcina umthetho. Fellow South Africans, we greet you all on this 23rd anniversary of the dawn of freedom and democracy in our country. However, we start on a sad note. A few days ago, during the Easter weekend, we lost more than 200 people on road crashes, including 19 school children in Bronkhorstspruit, Gauteng, and 16 people in Kranskop here in KZN, ngaphansi kwentunjambili. Their deaths have caused enormous pain, and we must all play our role to end this carnage on our roads. I request that we rise and give a moment of silence for all those who have lost their lives so tragically. May their souls rest in peace. Thank you. Compatriots, it has been a long road since that watershed general election in 1994 that marked the collapse of racist white rule, the defeat of apartheid colonialism by the South African people was one of the greatest achievements of humankind. We turned our backs on a system of governance that had been declared a crime against humanity and which had dehumanized black people and turned them into pariahs in the land of their birth. One of the best descriptions of life under racist minority rule is contained in an article published on the 25th July 1953 by ANC leader Reverend Selopetema. He wrote, and I quote, "In those days, the black man was treated as a beast of burden. He was knocked and kicked about with impunity. In the magistrates' courts, his voice was hardly heard, and his evidence hardly believed. He was stopped at streets, corners, by policemen demanding the production of his pass and his tax receipt. He was not allowed to walk on the pavements and had to dodge motor cars in the streets. He was not allowed to travel first, second, or third class on the trains. He traveled in trucks almost similar to those used for cattle and horses. Politically, he had no voice in the making and administration of the laws. Economically, he was kept in a state of abject poverty, unquote. These are the conditions that urged our leaders, such as Oliver Reginald Tambo, to sacrifice life's comforts to fight for the liberation of our country and the people. President Oliver Tambo would have turned 100 years this year had he lived. We have dedicated this 23rd Freedom Day to him under the theme, the Year of Oliver Reginald Tambo, together deepening democracy and building safer and crime-free communities. We pay tribute to President O.R. Tambo and all ordinary men and women of our country who contributed in various ways to the attainment of freedom and helped move our country forward towards a free and democratic South Africa. In 23 years, we have achieved a lot. We have built a democratic state founded on human rights and the rule of law. We have established 3 functional arms of the state: the executive, legislature, and the judiciary, which work to enable South Africans to enjoy their rights, which are enshrined in the Constitution, based on their respect and their respective mandates. We have Chapter 9 institutions whose job is also to protect and promote the rights of our people. These include rights to religious freedom or gender equality, to the promotion of clean governance and freedom from maladministration and corruption. For millions of our people, freedom has meant access to services that they were denied before, such as water, sanitation, housing, electricity, roads, health care, or education. Bakwethu, namhlanje uma sigubha usuku lwenkululeko, sikhumbula indima esesihambile nezinguquko ezilethwe uhulumeni wentando yeningi. Inkululeko ilethe impilo engcono ezindaweni eziningi, amanzi, ugesi, imigwaqo nezinsiza eziningi zilethelwe abantu. Inkululeko ilethe nemfundo engcono ezinganeni kanye nezikole okufundwa mahala kuzo ukusiza abazali abantulayo. Izingane zithola ukudla ezikoleni ukuze zifunde kahle zingalambile. Eziningi izingane zifunda ezinkulisa ezisekelwe uhulumeni. Konke lokhu kukhombisa khona ukuthi ngempela iNingizimu Afrika isingcono kakhulu manje kunale minyaka yengcindezelo. Uhulumeni wabantu ubuye akhiphe imali yezibonelelo esiza izingane, ogogo nomkhulu. Kanye nabakhubazekile. Imindeni eminingi iphila ngale mali ngenxa yokwentuleka kwemsebenzi. The Department of Social Development, Home Affairs, as well as SASSA, will host integrated further registration of beneficiaries for social grants in this area. Kuzoqhubeka uhulumeni nokubambisana nabantu ukuze isimo sempilo sibe ngcono kubantu bonke ezweni lakithi. Sifuna ukugcizelela namhlanje ukuthi uma uhulumeni engakafiki endaweni yakini nezidingo, bekezela, uhulumeni uzogcina efikile nempilo engcono nangakini. Compatriots, as we celebrate the progress made in the past 23 years, we also admit that there is further work to be done. We have achieved political freedom, but economic freedom still remains largely elusive. It is for this reason that we speak about radical economic transformation. Let me reiterate that by radical economic transformation, we mean fundamental change in the structure, systems, institutions, and patterns of ownership, management, and control of the economy in favor of all South Africans, especially the poor, the majority of whom are African and women. Let me repeat this. Bazoyiphinda nangesizulu. Silingise umfundisi eshumayela ngoJohn 14. Ophinda njalo nje kuze ibandla limzwe kahle. Let me reiterate that by radical economic transformation, we mean fundamental change in the structure, systems, institutions, and patterns of ownership, management, and control of the economy in favor of all South Africans, especially the poor, the majority of whom are African and female. The majority of black people are still economically disempowered and are dissatisfied with the economic gains from liberation. The level of inequality remains high. White households earn at least 5 times more than black households. Only 10% of the top 100 companies on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange are owned by black South Africans, directly achieved principally through the Black Empowerment Codes. The pace of transformation in the workplace, the implementation of affirmative action policies as required by the Empowerment Equity Act also remains very slow. We are also very much aware of our people's quest for land. We reiterate that we will use all available instruments necessary in expediting land restitution and respond to land hunger. The land question will feature prominently in the policy conference discussions of the governing party in June, including the debates on the expropriation of land without compensation. Compatriots, as said, our theme for Freedom Month 2017 centers on building safer and crime-free communities. We want to see an end to vicious attacks on women and children, the house break-ins, cash in transit, heists, car hijackings, stock thefts, and other crimes that make life difficult for our people in many communities. Last month, I undertook a presidential Siyahlola monitoring visit to this area, especially because of the aggressive cross-border crime, which has included car hijackings and theft, with vehicles being taken to Mozambique across the border. In my imbizo with the community, you outlined various challenges that you face. I assigned several departments to work on the issues that had been raised by the community here, and are happy to report back on those of the issues, as freedom means talking directly with government. We are happy that the people have raised this matter with us so that it can be attended to without impacting negatively on the warm and fraternal relations between the people of Mozambique and the people of South Africa. A lot of work is being done to attend to issues raised here with me when I visited the place. Many complaints pointed to a need to improve policing in the area. When I visited Manguzi police station, I found it dilapidated with inadequate personnel and resources to handle the matters at hand. I found the same situation in Inyanga police station in Cape Town in February, and also in Soshanguve in Pretoria, which means we need to improve capacity in police stations servicing black communities. Government has set aside 92 million rand for the renovation of the Manguzi police station. Already, painting and other minor refurbishments are being undertaken so that the police can work in a more conducive environment. The Kwazulu-Natal provincial government has supplied the police station with vehicles to enable faster responses when crimes are being committed. The police station has also been upgraded to a level of a kennel, and measures have begun to fill 44 vacant posts. The South African National Defence Force and SABC on the border have begun to collaborate on efforts to defeat cross-border crime, as it was clear that there was legal collaboration and criminals were taking advantage of this lack of coordination. The SANDF has increased the deployments along the border with Mozambique here, and the law enforcement agencies will continue to do their best to prevent the cross-border car thefts with the support of the community. Without your support, very little progress will be made. Your support is very crucial to the police and the SANDF. The Department of International Relations and Cooperation will coordinate discussions between the security cluster in South Africa and their Mozambican counterparts on cross-border crime and also illegal migration issues. Complaints about late registration of births have been followed up, and the Department of Home Affairs has been running outreach programs registering South African children in the district. During the State of the Nation address, I raised concern about attacks on citizens living with albinism, leading to people living with albinism living in fear. Mangozi was the site of the horrific murder of Miss Thandazile Punzi in 2015. I am happy that the community wants to be assisted to end this scourge of attacks of people with albinism. South Africans with albinism are human beings like all of us and should be treated with respect and be protected from attacks which arise from prejudice and ignorance. Abantu abanebala elimhlophe bayafana nathi sonke. Akumele nakancane bahlasele. Police will do everything possible to track down those who attack people with albinism. Social programs, including door-to-door campaigns, have been conducted to educate the community on albinism. Awareness programs must be held nationally. On 13th June, the International Albinism Awareness Day, to pledge support to people with albinism. Compatriots, one of the government's key programs since freedom has been the promotion of access to justice by the poor nationalities. This has been done nationally. It is for this reason that government opened the first High Court in Limpopo last year. A High Court is also being constructed from Mpumalanga province to bring justice closer to the people. In this regard, government is investigating the possibility of opening Umkanyagude North Magisterial District that will cover the Chozini and Umkanyagu and Umhlabuyalingana local municipalities. This will ensure that local people do not travel long distances to Ubombo to obtain court services. one of the benefits of a free South Africa has been the expansion of telecommunication services nationwide. Millions of our people have access to cell phones, which have made communication easier in remote areas. The Department of Telecommunications and Postal Services is in discussion with the network operators, Vodacom and MTN, about improving network reception in this area, as this will help in the fight against crime. Police indicated that poor network reception near the border hinders their work in tracking stolen cars. Compatriots, this district is known to have difficulties with access to water for our people. Government, through the Department of Water and Sanitation, is implementing 2 projects: the Kwa-Zulu Water Supply Project and Greater Mseleni Water Supply Scheme, to assist in addressing water supply challenges in this area. Once both schemes are completed, they will supply more than 3,000 households with safe, potable water. The Department of Environment Affairs nationally is working with the province to address the transformation issues and other matters that the community raised about the Isimangaliso Wetland Park, Ndabezitha. Iminyango kahulumeni izoqhubeka nokuzisebenza izicelo zomphakathi ngoba zibalulekile, ikakhulukazi izicelo ngesimangaliso. Iyangethusa lento. Uhulumeni oqala wesifundazwe ngangi-MEC lapha e-Economic Affairs and Tourism, ngalukhuluma lolu daba, ngahamba ngathi hayi luzolunga. Ngezwa futhi ngobaba uMabuya khulu na ethi usele ukhulume kwaze kwakhihliza amagwebu, namanje alukapheli. Hey, inzima lento. Sasixoxa lapha ngokuthi kumbiwe mayini noma iyekwe kuhlonishwe imvelo. Sabanga. Ngelinye ilanga ngathukuthela ngaqanuni wabo. Kukhona umlungu waseJalimani ekhuza ukuthi no ningayithinti le ndawo. Kathi emfo wakwasibona eJalimani soxoxa ngendawo yakini. Ngase ngithukuthela. Ngoba ngangithi akulona iqiniso ukuthi asikwazi ukuyonga indawo. Nangaphambi kokuba ilembe lakhe isizwe samaZulu, nangesikhathi salo nangemva sasiyondlile le ndawo. Ngeke safundiswa namhlanje engathi asikwazi. Into esemqoka ukuthi le ndawo ngoba iwumnotho, sonke asikube khona esikutholayo, ikakhulu abantu bendawo. Yingakho ke sisithi lolu daba siyalithathelela futhi ngoba kucace ngathi luhamba kancane. Ngoba inkululeko isho uhulumeni olalelayo aphinde futhi asheshe aphendule. Asinakuxakwa indawo yakithi. Isixako kokugcina nje impela. Amadoda ekhona namakhosi nabaholi. Hawu. Kanti nikhunyiswe ikhuba lelibheke eceleni. Okanye ukusaba abanye abantu. Thina ke sababona ediphini. Compatriots, in 1994, we undertook to build a non-racial society in which racism would be a thing of the past. Sadly, the ideology of racism remains firmly entrenched among some in our population. Some racist incidents have occurred here in Umkhanyakude district, where some tourism establishments have excluded black people on the basis of color. Ismangaliso, glaring example. In the fight against racism, government through the Department of Justice is finalizing the National Action Plan against racism and related intolerances. This plan will give further clarity and guidance to government and to the broader South African society on the fight against racism and related intolerances. We have also recently published the prevention and combating of hate crimes and hate speech bill. Once it becomes law, it will criminalize several forms of discrimination, including on the basis of race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, and nationality. Compatriots, let us unite against racism. We must build the type of society that Oliver Reginald Tambo spoke about, a united South Africa which is free of racism. He said, and I quote, "The spirit of non-racialism should not only extend to the people as a whole, but it should also be a firm foundation stone upon which our new society stands. Each of us should therefore foster the spirit of oneness amongst all our people. Even though suspicion will not disappear overnight, the building of one South African nation is a national task of paramount importance." Unquote. Ngamanye amazwi, ake sizame ukuzincenga ukuthi singabi nolaka, singakhulumi kabi nabanye abantu, sibe thina singafuni ukukhulunywa kabi nathi. Singagxeki njalo busuku nemini, singabe sakubona okuhle okufuna ukukhuthazwa ngconyo. Isizwe asakhiwa ngolaka, sakhiwa ngokuzwana. Abantu ake bebe namahloni ukuthi kube sase bathuka abanye abantu bagxeka abanye abantu. Hawu kishishimane sezahlakanipha. Impela ishimane azisanyundi seziyazi manje ukuthi uma unyunda wenza ukuthi lo omnyundayo lo omnyunda kuye ambukisise azabona into ayithandayo kuyena. Ake sibe bahle nje sibe nomusa sikhulume kahle uma umuntu onile simcacisele kahle ukuzezwe ngoba uma umthethisa akasezwa noma uyamsiza na. Inkinga ke engifuna ukuyisho namhlanje abantu bangenela ipolitiki bengayazi. Ngoba bezwa kuthiwa kune democracy manje ikhulunywa ngesingisi democracy bese kuthiwa kwi democracy kuya debatewa bacabanga ukuthi ke kwi democracy ufuna ukuthethisa umuntu uthe abayazi debate umehluko phakathi kwe debate eyakhayo neyenza ukuthi abantu babone ukukhuluma into enengqondo. Uyathuka nje umuntu uthukutele akafuna abanye bakhulume. Awu Nkosi yami ipolitiki uncipha kwayo ke lokho ayikho. Ipolitiki uyadebate ngamemgama uyaxoxa amaqiniso. Uma uholi party yakho utshena abantu ukuthi iparty yami uma ngase ningikhethe nje iyonenzela lokhu nalokhu. Ungathi ungakhuluyeka iparty yakho ukuthi laba bayahlupha bayahamba baqhuzuka baphuma inzipho bayahamba bathi bayilima babheka le we Nkosi yami. Manje na ke ngebhadi sibhizi sakhi South Africa sinazi isikhathi sokubafundisa ipolitiki. Noma uthi uthola ithubu yabafundisa abalaleli ngoba abayazi ukuthi ipolitiki isho ukuthini. Kuyahlonishwa. Ipolitiki ayisho ukuthi ungabi nanhlonipho. Ayisho ukuthi uthuka abantu abadala nabancane. Manje ke uyabona mina ngiyanga esikoleni. Mawukhuluma nami ipolitiki ngesingisa ngikuzwa. Bese ngikhuluma ngithi ngizwile kanti angizwanga. Politiki usho ukuthi uba yi-gentleman, ube yi-lady, utshene umuntu iqiniso alizwe nabantu bakulandela. Abantu abalwa balwela inkululeko yithi kwakufanele futhi ngoba ayengezwa laba bebesiphethe. Salwa ke sathatha ikhali kwamnyama phansi. Uma sesikhululekile akusesona isikhathi sokuthukuthelana bakwethu. Isikhathi sokwakha iSouth Africa entsha. Sikhulume kahle. Simcebi akusho ukuthi umuntu ngoba unembono ehlukile kweyakho useyisitha political. Abazi konke uzumalanga bacabanga ukuthi uma ungale uyisitha bakududula baze bakufake weni bangalala ubusuku nemini. La felihle kakhulu. Uma uthanda izwe lakho ufisa ukuthi ngelinye ilanga ube iqembu elizophatha uhulumeni, abantu abakubone phela ngesisoko sishayayo, babone nembono yakho ukuthi iyezwakala impela. Kodwa mawulingisa uhlanya nje izulu lina selikhumulile lungasagqokile uthi nginesibindi mina ngahlangana. Uyabona ke mawazi politiki akufanele ubajoyini ngoba nje uma ungabonakala uhlanya selungasagqokile lapho kunizulu uthi ngeke ngithinta ukuthi nawe uyojoyina umuntu ofika ngeke sazi ukuthi ubani uhlanya phakathi kwenu nobabili. Utsheni ndampana. uma sigubha inkululeko asijabule kube mnandi. Kukhona abangayigubhi namhlanje ngizwe ngeindaba. Bachitha imali impela bayothukana nje nombutho othile. Bayothukana nomuntu nje imini yonke. Sijabule thina lapha siyagubha. Bona bayathuka Nkosi yami. Sizobancenga kodwa soloko sibafundisa nje kancane kancane. Nempandla iqala ngenhlonhlo. Nesilwane lesiya saze sawaqeda amanzi ngolimi. Soloko sibancenga nje. Koze kulunge wena. Mase sithi 42 years bobe sebelungile. Sakhululeka. Compatriots, our country continues to be a popular destination for international conferences. On the 3rd to the 5th May, we will be proudly hosting the World Economic Forum Africa meeting in Durban. The summit will bring together a number of heads of states and government and ministers, global captains of industry, and influential decision makers from all over the world. This is a wonderful opportunity to showcase our country. We look forward to hosting them all here in our country. During the month of May, we shall mark Africa Month under the theme, the Year of Oliver Regional Tambo, Building a Better Africa and a Better World. Africa Month will provide an opportunity to further deepen our warm relations with sister nations in the continent and to promote African culture, economic development, and progress in various fields. Compatriots, tomorrow, the nation will lay to rest Mr. Philip Kosana, a PAC leader and liberation stalwart who led more than 30,000 marchers on the racist parliament in Cape Town in 1960. On this Freedom Day, we acknowledge his contribution and that of all who sacrificed for freedom. Government declared a special provincial funeral befitting his stature. Ubabu Khosa. Tomorrow, the 28th April, we will honor many local and international distinguished persons with national orders, the highest awards that the nation bestows on deserving persons. This year's recipients include veterans of the struggle and those who have excelled in sports, journalism, the arts, those who have displayed bravery, and eminent international persons who have been reliable and dedicated friends of our country during the struggle of freedom. We congratulate all of them for their achievements. Compatriots, freedom comes with responsibilities. We must continue to work together, each working their own contribution to build a South Africa that is free of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. We must build safer and crime-free communities. Importantly, let us promote unity and togetherness as we build the South Africa that we all love. Celebrating Freedom Day must be a reminder for us that we fought for our freedom and that the country that we freed needs us equally to develop to be a prosperous country. That is our duty. That is what we needed to teach others, so that this day must be the day on which we are happy, but also rededicate ourselves to contribute more during our lifetime in building this wonderful rainbow nation, South Africa. Happy Freedom Day to you all. I thank you.